She closed her dog and pony show with what David describes as a shaggy patriot or shaggy dog story about chaplains sacrificing their lives aboard a troop transport carrier steaming between Newfoundland and Greenland during the Second World War. Well, for starts, she couldn't pronounce Newfoundland.
3 ships left from Newfoundland.
I don't know. Have we grandfathered Michelle Bachmann out of the Moran Monday yet? The list is getting too big. I just know we can't count Mussolini because she's just past mistress emeritus or whatever. But in describing the torpedoing of the troop transport ship Dorchester and the horrible tragedy of lives lost therein, she said, sit down, those of you interested in historical accuracy, linguistic accuracy, or just not being crazy, will take probably as much delight as I did in the fact that Michelle Bachmann said that the Dorchester was torpedoed by a U-2 boat.
And U-2 boats.
Really? U-2 boat. You know, I guess, I don't know, Captain Bono at the helm there, the U-2 boat with his little periwinkle sticking through the... Fire! A U-2 boat. As David notes, had the crew followed orders, most might have survived. Bachmann simply glorified their deaths and told the Vegas throng, let's do the same! And apparently she's telling the story in other places, not just Las Vegas. In other words, she is recycling her material. Let's see if she repeats the U-2 boat or if that was a one-off.
And I just want to close with this story to tell you what kind of country we are and the kind of man that a John Gomez is and the kind of leadership that he's going to bring to D.C.
Gomez?
This is just a very quick
May I see your papers?
It was 67 years ago today, 67 years ago, February 3rd.
Wow, sister, big difference between February 3rd and July the 20th. 67 years ago today.
Because it was 67 years ago, on March 3rd.
Sergeant Pepper taught the band to play. Not quite.
We had no idea. We had Tojo in the Pacific. We had Adolf Hitler in the European theater. And we had no idea what the outcome of this...
Poor Mussolini. He never gets any billing. Of course, she probably can't say Mussolini because the entire crowd would think she was talking about Sarah Palin.
Many, many young GIs, my uncles among them, signed up to serve their country because they love our country.
Go team!
And they got a radio call that said that they thought they were spotting German U-2 subs in the area, or U-2 boats and German subs in the area.
Yes! She said it! U-2 boats! U-2 boats! Let's hear about those U-2 boats.
There's German U-2 boats and there's German subs in the waters.
In the name of subs, what more in the name of subs?
And about 1 o'clock in the morning, a periscope broke through the water. And in the crosshairs of that periscope...
A periwinkle?
The Nazis put the Dorchester in the crosshairs. They fired one torpedo, and then a second torpedo.
From the U-2 boats?
The second torpedo hit the flank of the Dorchester dead on, and it was. Because scores of young GIs were killed instantly.
By that U-2 boat?
The explosion, it was chaos. The radio went out. The power went out. It was pandemonium.
This is the leading light of the Republican Party. This is the best they've got. This is the brain trust. Miss U-2 Boats 2010.
It was freezing out there on February 2nd. It was freezing.
I thought it was February 3rd.
February 3rd.
March 3rd.
February 2nd. Kids had no idea what to do. But there were 4 chaplains under deck.
Under deck? Under deck? Is that like the sort of a low-rent baseball card company? You know, upper deck, under deck? What? Under deck? My dad was an old salt. I never heard him say underdeck, and he worked there. Underdeck. Jeebus.
They were freezing, shaking in their skivvies. When I went up on deck where it was laden with ice because of the sea spray that had come on deck, most of them didn't have life jackets. The 4 chaplains found the storage chest on deck.
There was one guy up on the bow screaming, "I'm the king of the world!" No.
The 4 chaplains removed their own life jackets, took it off their body, and strapped it on the shaking body.
Strap-ons? There's strap-ons now, Michelle?
Of a young, nearly naked GI.
Strap-ons and young, nearly naked GIs. This sounds like something I don't want any part of.
We dishonor the service and the sacrifice of men and women of greatness.
We dishonor them. Is that kind of like when George Bush said our enemies never stop looking for a way to hurt America, and neither do we? Sometimes, I think Republicans do have these little Freudian moments when the real truth of their real agenda comes burbling to the surface. She speaks more truth than she knows. Those U-2 boats. Bono putting the Dorchester in its crosshairs. The edge over there maintaining the depth on the bow planes. To the phones. Hey, welcome to the program.
We all live in a U-2 submarine.
A U-2 submarine. A U-2 submarine.